Didn't this press release come out last Sunday?
I'm explaining the new changes and clearing up some misinformation, okay? Knowledge doesn't expire. So, IFAB, the International Football Association Board, met up in Aberdeen, Scotland this past month to talk about ways in which they thought they could tweak the rules in order to improve the game while also clearing up a couple of things for VAR. You know, trying to lessen the gray areas that exist, because even with VAR, there's still a lot of debate on certain calls. So we'll quickly run through these changes just so you'll be in the know for when they become active on June 1st, 2019.
I repeat, these rules will be incorporated on June 1st, 2019, before Copa America and any other FIFA tournaments this summer like the Women's World Cup in France.
Now, it should be noted that we are going off of the official press conference and filling in the blanks a bit. Oh yeah, I'm Adrian, by the way. And before we get to the law changes, there was a big piece of misinformation floating around regarding penalties. It was reported by some that when a penalty was saved or hit the post, play would be stopped and would then resume with a goal kick or free kick. That's not the case, however. Sky and Marca reported on this saying that it was the case, but this rule was scrapped a while ago by IFAB. Don't worry guys, we'll still have goals like Xabi Alonso's from the 2005 final in the future. Rebounds are allowed. Okay, let's get to the first change. Handballs in the box and how they affect the attacking team, which to me isn't addressing the real issue here. It doesn't make calling penalties due to handballs any clearer, and it's a missed opportunity. Instead, they focused on handballs for the attacking team. If I was to create a list of rules that needed to be looked at now that VAR has been introduced into the game, then penalties as a result of a handball by the defenders in the box would be at the very, very top, as there's still far too many gray areas in that regard. The rule change that IFAB made in regards to handballs affecting the attacking team is that no matter the intent, no matter the placement of the arm, if the ball comes into contact with an attacking player's hand while inside the box and enters the goal because of it, then it doesn't count. Think of Koscielny versus Burnley in 2017 when the ball was fired against his hand and went in, or Willy Boly against Manchester City earlier in the 2018-19 season, Aguero versus Arsenal a little while ago, etc. Those goals would no longer count, intent or not. So, hey, there's one gray area cleaned up. There's no longer going to be a question of intent in that regard. All the same, if the ball comes into contact with a player's hand in the build-up to a goal, right before a chance is created, again inside the box, regardless of intent, then it is also a handball and the play will be called back. IFAB, can we get some clarification for the defending team in the box though? That's what the people really want to hear. They also went on to clarify what they consider to be a handball outside of the box for both attacking and defending players. And that's where the natural silhouette comes into play. IFAB's David Ellery said this in an interview, quote, "We've changed it to say the body has a certain silhouette. If the arms are extended beyond that silhouette, then the body is being made unnaturally bigger with the purpose of it being a bigger barrier to the opponent or the ball." How I interpret this is if the arms are at the side of the player or against their own body, then it won't be a handball. But as soon as your arms start to wander from the body and come into contact with the ball, it's a handball. Again though guys, there was no mention at all in the press release as to if this will in fact be used in regards to penalties. I personally think it should be to get rid of the gray area, as harsh as it may be. We'd at least have some clarity though. But until it's clarified by IFAB, we don't know. Most of the examples they used were for the attacking team. Now, one thing regarding penalties that IFAB have changed is making it a letter of the law that a goalkeeper must have at least 1 foot on the goal line when trying to save a penalty kick. This has got to be the most abused rule in football, at least the most abused rule that I can think of in this moment. Find me a penalty where the keeper is on the line as the ball is being kicked, as they're supposed to be, and I'll give you a kiss. Now, whether this new rule of 1 foot needing to be on the line is enforced or not is another question, because as of now, it's never really been enforced. But now that it's actually written down as a rule, perhaps referees will start to enforce it. Some of the other rule changes include an update on how goal kicks will be conducted. Previously, players had to stay outside of the box until the ball left the 18-yard box, but now defending players can come short in the box for free kicks and goal kicks. A change made to reflect the evolution of the game, namely for teams who play it out from the back. No longer will defenders have to wait anxiously outside the box as they are shadowed by their opposition, waiting for the ball to come to them. Now they can enter the box before the ball leaves it, and will have that extra second to pick out a pass before the opposition can move in on them. Another change is that there will no longer be attacking players interfering with the defensive wall from free kicks. In the past, you would see attacking players doing their best to interfere with the wall, stand next to the wall to block the keeper's vision, etc. Now, however, attacking players will have to be a full meter away from the defensive wall, so no more will there be room for the disruption of the wall to create holes to shoot through. As far as trying to reduce time wasting in football, IFAB made a change to how substitutions will be conducted. For a while now, the best way to waste time was to substitute the player who was furthest from the center way across the pitch. Now, however, players are to leave the pitch via the nearest touchline, and players who take too long will be dealt with by the referee. This could lead to more yellows for wasting time, which will add a nice spice to some games, I guess, as players can potentially be sent off. Some question whether every single ground will have an appropriate place for the players to come off, as in if there's enough room on the touchline, etc., but those problems will have to be tackled as they come. Also, coaches and technical staff can now officially be given yellow and red cards. This seemed to happen already in football, so it's a bit confusing to me, at least as I remember it, but now it's going to be a concrete rule. Not the most thrilling addition to the rule, to be honest, but the next one is helpful. Well, it's not super helpful because it won't affect the game much, but finally, now when the ball strikes the referee, it's up to the jurisdiction of the ref to have a drop ball. They were vague with the wording in their press release, as they were with most things in the press release, to be honest, but the official wording was, quote, giving a drop ball in certain situations when the ball hits the referee, end quote. To me, I interpret that as whether there is an advantage or not from it hitting the referee. Let's say I try to rifle a pass to my teammate and it bounces off the referee, but my team retains possession still following contact with the ref. There likely wouldn't be a drop ball in that case. I can't see why there would be. But let's say I pass to a teammate and it hits the referee and goes to the opposition. I assume that's when the referee would do a drop ball. As of now, when the ball hits the ref, nothing happens, so I don't mind this rule. Did it need to be changed? Probably not. And that was it, really. I personally am really looking forward to when the official rulebook comes out to see if the change in handball rulings will also affect the defenders in the box and the awarding of penalties, because with VAR, especially now, it's in dire need of clarification. Look at what's happened in the Champions League lately. That's it from me, a short one today. If you enjoyed this video, then drop a like for me. If not, then there's the dislike button there as well. I'm Adrian, this is Rabona TV, and have a great weekend.